Before I delve into the main topic of this video, yes, you've already seen the title and the thumbnail. I want to make it very, very clear that this video is based on rumor and speculation. I am not pulling a doomcock and claiming to have a quote-unquote inside source when I have no such inside sources. I am merely just looking at the situation from the outside in. If you choose to click off at this point, that's more than fine. I just want to make it very, very clear that this is pure rumor and speculation. Therefore, I can be absolutely wrong. And if I am, then I'm wrong. Then I'm wrong. There's no other way to put it. So with that out of the way, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video. Armor Wars was announced a few years ago as a Disney Plus show. It was announced back in December of 2020. Then it morphed from a Disney Plus show into a movie by 2022. And now, with Blade being taken off the 2025 release calendar, rumors are beginning to spread that Armor Wars, which was set to feature Don Cheadle's War Machine / aka Rhodey, has been canceled as well. Even Don Cheadle himself doesn't know what's going on with Armor Wars at this point in time. Cheadle, in an interview with TV Line, when asked about where Armor Wars stands with Marvel, he said, and I quote, "You can find out and let me know," end quote. Later in the interview, he reiterated with, quote, "I don't know. I'm not sure where anything is right now. I think things are going through a lot of changes, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what it is," end quote. Now, I'm not going to end the video just right there. I want to go over 3 reasons for why this movie has possibly been canceled. Again, as I said in the beginning of this recording, I could absolutely be wrong at some point down the line. But if Armor Wars were to be canceled, I would not be surprised, because Armor Wars is not being listed on any release list for the MCU's Phase 5 or Phase 6 as of the recording of this video. Again, that could change down the line. That could change a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Doesn't matter. Again, it's all rumor and speculation. But let's go over 3 possible reasons why this movie has probably been canceled. And the first reason I want to point out is that Marvel isn't in the same position as they were in 2020 when Armor Wars was first announced. Back in 2020, even post-Endgame, post-Avengers Endgame, Marvel was always seen as one of these franchises that was, quote-unquote, too big to fail. Even post-Endgame, you know, and now I've made the argument that for the majority of people, Avengers Endgame was the end of the MCU, and that still holds true for a lot of people. But there was always like this speculation of, where is the MCU going to go now that you no longer have Iron Man, you no longer have Captain America, you no longer have Thanos, right? That's all Marvel really ran on. It was all this like wild theory and speculation. And, you know, what is Phase 4 going to bring? And what we know now is that they have released bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb, going back to the Black Widow movie, where they decided, hey, let's release it on Disney Plus day and date, and then we're gonna run out to the media, and we are going to make this wild claim that the Black Widow movie lost $600 million due to piracy, despite the fact that the Black Widow movie probably came out at around that time about 4 or 5 years too late, and we know that Black Widow dies at the end of Avengers Endgame. No, Black Widow lost a bunch of money, and it was all due to internet piracy. No, it was not. And then the MCU had just had bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. To put it in context, the Marvel movies post Endgame, the only hits that Marvel has had were Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which did benefit from the success of Spider-Man No Way Home. And if you remember, the second post-credit scene in Spider-Man No Way Home was the teaser for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So don't say that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness did not benefit from Spider-Man No Way Home, even though, fun fact, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was originally supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home, but Sony didn't want to delay Spider-Man No Way Home any further. So Spider-Man No Way Home came out first, and then Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness came out second. Anyway, what point was I? What point was I on? Oh yeah, the Marvel movies. The only Marvel movies that have been hits post Endgame were Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine. And that's it. 4 movies. Out of how many movies have they released post Endgame at this point? I've lost count, but still, you have the MCU is just, bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb, and so much so that 2023 for Disney overall was just the year of box office bombs. And yes, that's the year that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out. But still, with how much Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 cost to produce, some insiders, some analysts were even saying that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 probably just barely broke even for Disney. Otherwise, it was just nothing but bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. Now let's go into the second reason for possible cancellation, because I've gone on long enough about how Marvel isn't in the same position as they were in back in 2020, and there are countless videos about how the MCU sucks now. But anyway, let's get into the second reason, and let's talk about Armor Wars as a concept itself. And the second reason for possible cancellation is simply that War Machine was Iron Man's sidekick. Right, why are you going to make a movie where you focus solely on the sidekick? That would be as if Warner Brothers came out tomorrow and said, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a standalone movie about Robin, the Boy Wonder. Who would actually go see a standalone movie just about Robin? Now, a standalone movie about Joker makes sense because Joker is Batman's ultimate foil. Right, everybody knows who the Joker is, but why are you going to make a movie that solely focuses on Batman's sidekick? Now, granted, he was in the Teen Titans, but I'm not talking about Teen Titans movie. I'm talking about a standalone Robin the Boy Wonder movie. That idea probably to you sounds really, really crazy. Well, imagine a War Machine movie who War Machine was Iron Man's sidekick, now being turned into a movie. Just why are you choosing to focus on the sidekick? Why not move on from Iron Man himself and build up something new? And the third and final reason for the possible cancellation is that the Skrulls probably aren't going anywhere significant in the MCU. For those that don't know, Secret Invasion ended with War Machine in that series being revealed to have been a Skrull the entire time, and the real Rhodey having been held hostage for several years. I'm pulling up this article from Comic Book Resources. It's the final paragraph of the article that is aptly titled Don Cheadle addresses Armor Wars status amid cancellation rumors. It's written by Sam Fang, and it was published on October 13th of 2024. And the final paragraph is as follows. Cheadle also shared with TV Line his thoughts about doing the Secret Invasion project and playing a Skrull Rhodey, and if he would be frustrated with how his character's arc ended if Armor Wars doesn't push through. Quote, "It wasn't a demand, it was a request. What do you think about playing this?" And it was to set up stuff in the following thing. So if the following thing Armor Wars happens and all those things were set up, then that's one thing. If, as you said, it doesn't, then we can talk about how I feel about it after. So you have an Armor Wars movie that's going to play with the Skrulls. The only Marvel movies that have played with the Skrulls were Captain Marvel, Spider-Man Far From Home, the second MCU Spider-Man movie. I think it was the second post-credits scene where it was revealed that Maria Hill and one other S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, I can't remember. I have to apologize. I only saw Spider-Man Far From Home once. But it was like Maria Hill and another S.H.I.E.L.D. agent were secretly Skrulls the entire time. And then you have no mention of the Skrulls again until Secret Invasion. And then I never saw the Marvels, so I can't speak on that. But the Skrulls are probably in the Marvels as well. But still, I'm just gonna go ahead. And I'm gonna end this video off with this. But before I talk myself in circles again, the issue with Marvel right now is that there isn't a big bad villain like Thanos. Over here, we've got the Skrulls. Over here, we have Kang the Conqueror, and we saw where the fuck that went. Over here, we have Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, which ended up going absolutely nowhere. In that regard, what will Armor Wars actually build to? The end of Secret Invasion, I just brought this up, the end of Secret Invasion confirms that the real Rhodey has been held hostage for years by the Skrulls, and a Skrull named Rava has been posing as him. Marvel at this point just needs to get away from this bullshit and just go back to the drawing board. And you've already seen that they have done that. The only MCU movie to come out in 2024 was Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I know that Echo has released on Disney+. That was back in January. Agatha All Along has released, but those are Disney Plus shows, right? But you notice that in 2024, Marvel had less output than they had in any other year from 2021, 2022, and 2023, if we're counting both movies and Disney Plus shows. And if we're looking at just movies, the last time that Marvel released one movie, the MCU released one movie in a given year, was back in 2010 with Iron Man 2, because if you remember, Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk came out both in 2008, and they came out within about, 6 to 8 weeks of each other. But anyway, getting back to my closing point is that Marvel needs to get away from this bullshit and just go back to the drawing board, build a clear, new big bad villain, instead of having a bunch of maybe big bad villains. And overall, just stop wasting the audience's time with all this bullshit and just have a clear plan, because it's obvious that what they're building to, if you're a fan of Marvel Comics, it's clear that what the MCU is trying to build to is Secret Wars. However, there's so much bullshit going on with the MCU that will the Secret Wars arc even materialize? If so many casuals are dropping off because you have so much bullshit, like I said, you've got the Skrulls over here, you've got Kang the Conqueror that ended up not going anywhere, and Marvel dropped Jonathan Majors back in 2023 after he was convicted. And then you had Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, that once again ultimately just didn't go anywhere. So, as I said, and I'll end it off with this, because I know that I've been talking in circles. At this point, Marvel just needs to stop wasting the audience's time with all this bullshit that is within their control. And the old adage is quality over quantity.